Welcome back one and all, Ruckus here with some Blitz gameplay today. Pull up a chair and get comfortable. We have 20 minutes worth of Centurion 1 gameplay to get through. The Centurion 1 being the tier 8 of the British medium tank line. Going to run through 5 games, a bit of history of the machine and some stats too, so let's get straight into it. The Centurion main battle tank was one of the more successful post-war armoured vehicle designs. Introduced in 1945, just under 4,500 were produced and saw service in a number of different countries and in almost a dozen different conflicts, all the way back to the Korean War, through the Middle Eastern wars of the 50s and 60s, Vietnam War, and even as recently as the Falklands and the Gulf War. Australia ran their Centurions from June 1952 when we picked up our first regiment, all the way up until 1973 when it was eventually replaced by the Leopard 1. One of our Centurions actually had a fairly checkered history. It was a Mark III Centurion, not a Mark I, with the serial number 169041, and it had earned itself the name the Atomic Tank because in 1952, when the British were busy testing some of their nuclear weapons on our desert out here, 169041 was placed 460 meters from the epicenter of a 9.1 kiloton nuclear blast. It's about half the size of the Hiroshima bomb, with its engine running and a full ammunition loadout, left to its own devices just to see what would happen. And what did happen? Well, the blast blew it back 1.5 meters, blasted all of the exterior stuff off, the side skirts, all the antenna, light stuff on the outside, sandblasted the front of the tank, ruined all the optics, blew all the hatches out, would have killed the crew, had the crew been in it at the time, but was able to be driven away. The engine had stopped running by the time it was checked, but only because it ran out of fuel. So the slightly, I would assume, radioactive 169041 was driven off and went on to serve another 23 years worth of service with the Australian Armed Forces, including some time in Vietnam where it was hit by an RPG which injured its crew and knocked it out briefly, but they all went on to keep fighting and it came home in the end. So a very checkered history from one of our vehicles, very interesting. Alright, let's jump into the final moments of this tier 9 game on port with Sayo San and the T-44, and we've chased the enemy all the way through their spawn. Side scrape here in the corner to successfully deflect that IS-8 shot. Unfortunately we couldn't save our Black Prince, who did run off by himself, but here in the STI have held up the Reds long enough that we've come in behind them and just cleaning up now, one tank at a time. Assumed I was going to take a hit there from the IS-8, but he's targeting someone behind me, and now turn to help out Sayo, who is being clown tanked. Like to get in front and block a shot, but he's going to have to dodge this one on his own, using the low profile of the T-44 to get in under the T-34's gun, and yeah, looks like he was having connection issues there anyway, so we get away with that. One tank left, STI or ST1, one cheeky shot in, and the team cleans up. Well played. So third class, a sniper and Confederate for that one. 2.3k damage, Sayo coming out on top of XP, 13 shots fired, 12 penetrating hits, good accuracy on this gun as we'll see, 36,000 credits and 1.3k XP. Now as the second game here on Black Goldville kicks off, let's bring up the Ruckus stat board and see what makes the Centurion 1 tick. Here are the 6 tier 8 medium tanks in Blitz at the moment, 5 regular mediums and 1 premium medium, the Super Pershing. Now the vehicle itself is fairly average, 14 to 50 hit points and 260 meters view range is bang on average. Fire chance 20%, not great, but it's no surprise. Now onto armor, we see the first major weakness of the machine. The whole armor is butter. It is not going to stop much, although there are side skirts running down the side of the vehicle that are good enough to deflect some heat rounds. The turret makes up for that though. This is definitely a hold down fighting machine. 165mm at the front and 112 at the sides of rear is very, very good amongst the peers here at tier 8. The weight is on the average 45 tons, quite heavy, although as we'll see, not really heavy enough to come out on top of a ramming contest with VK01M, as we'll soon see. Engine power though is powerful, which means its power to weight is up there, quite good. Unfortunately though, the top speed is what kills this thing. It's only 40 km per hour, which is the same as the Super Pershing. Not that that thing ever gets up to that speed. It's got a terrible power to weight. But that 40 km per hour top speed is far less than all the other regular mediums here at tier 8. And the Traverse and the Turret Traverse are not great either. Well, the Turret Traverse is okay, but the Hull Traverse is quite poor compared to its peers. So good in a tight spot, good to get up to speed, but not good at shifting around large portions of the map rapidly, like a T-44 would be or a Panther II. The gun, the 20-pounder Type A barrel, is a high rate of fire, fairly low alpha damage weapon with a bang on average DPM, 1839 there. What is good about this weapon though is the penetration values. You rarely have to, in a tier 9 game or a tier 8 game, you rarely have to swap over to the APCR rounds, because AP Pen has 226mm of penetration, and the accuracy is great as well, which means you can just ping away at weak spots and expect to pen 0.33 dispersion and 2.3 seconds aim times. Very good. And the elevation for the gun is the worst at tier 18 degrees elevation, but negative 10 degrees depression is great. Now, you've got to feel bad for this team, don't you? At least the guys who actually played, like that poor IS-6 and the M4, the VK, guys that were making an attack on us up on the high ground, at least trying to play the game, let down by that IS-3 who was just sitting there on his spawn, not doing anything. The Black Prince hadn't moved far. They're just about to lose that T-34-85, there he goes, and now there's just a T-32 left. Where could he be? Is he helping his team at all? Or is that him there, sitting in the back corner of the map? Oh, that is a sad sight. Oh, I know your pain all too well, Reds, and I'm sorry that this is the game that gets onto YouTube. But it was a bit of fun, a good whitewash for myself, Carrick, and the team. I got a bit overconfident there with my ram on the VK, almost got into trouble, but our own T-34-85 swiftly came to my rescue. He's having a great game, he's on 3 kills at the moment, as we all dogpile on this T-32, who does not deserve to be in game at all with that performance. There you go, second class badge, Sniper and Confederate again. Same awards as the last game, 2.8 for myself, 2.4 for Garrick. Again, decent accuracy stats, only 2 non-penetrating shots, 40,000 credits, and 1500 XP once again. So San is back again for the third game, a tier 8 battle on Copperfield. Only tier 9 and tier 8 games in today's episode. It does okay in tier 10 battles, I just didn't get any good recordings done. That penetration makes it a very, and the decent turret armor and depression makes it a fairly reliable vehicle in most battles if you can hide that whole armor. The turret is not really as strong as it sounds on paper. That top plate there on the front face of the turret that's sloped back is actually quite weak. It's a stronger turret on PC, I think, where you don't have a penetration indicator giving away your weak spots. A bit like the Super Pershing, actually. That's a much stronger vehicle when you don't know where the weak spot is on that turret. So we've charged aggressively forward into the flanking area, and going to whittle down this Panther II, just sitting there in the open and taking it through the flat portion of the front of his turret there. First kill going to Sayo San. We better push on though. We've left our team with just an IS-3 anchoring that spawn side of the map. Flank around hard. Just be cautious when you stick out from behind hills. You'll get spotted and get into trouble, but there's no one down here, so we can move on quite aggressively out of view range of that T-150. Cheeky shot into his turret. Where do you think you're going, Mr. Box Tank? To the garage. To the garage you're going. So it's 2 down, we move on. Quickly now. Sayo and an E25 are putting sniping fire on the Reds, trying to put pressure on our guys. So we pull in behind, there's a target to my right. What is that? Issue 100. Ooh. 0.33 accuracy, come on! He's taking heaps of shots from behind me. Snipe that T150. E25 gets the issue 100 on the hill. And now we charge forward in desperate attempt to try and save our valiant Tiger P, who's done a great job there holding up the Reds. He's surrounded by 3 heavies. Snipe away that KV-1S. 2 tier 8 heavies surrounding that poor Tiger P. Can we get there in time? They are making an absolute mess of it. The E25's coming in. I get the IS-6. And Sayo gets the IS-3. Nicely done, Tiger P. So, quite a few medals for that one. Top Gun, Sniper, Crucial. 4 for myself and 2 for Sayo. With the Tiger P coming out on top of XP. Very well played, mate. 13 shots fired, 12 penetrating hits, 29,000 credits, and 1.3k XP. Alright, the 4th game, tier 8 battle on, what's this? Fail Creek, of course it's Fail Creek. With Stealth 251 in the JP2. That reminds me, I really do need to start my grind on the JP2. That thing is a bit of a beast. I'm looking forward to playing it. And I've left 2 action-packed games for the final battles in this episode. This one's a good one. Whole team is charging off towards spawn. Always a good sign, not leaving anyone behind. You can tell the age of this video by the broken E25 symbol on the red side there in their lineup. Move in behind the cap with the intention of putting the good gun depression and turret armor of the Centurion to use. Stealth is to my left, and got a bunch of mediums moving up behind. Push forward. Yes, I am recording. You better play well. Pershing first target, side scrape. Just because you don't have much side armor doesn't mean you can't deflect shots like that with a sharp enough angle. Especially if it's only a low caliber gun like that Pershing's. And I apologise profusely, Jake Panther, for blocking you there. I'm sorry, man, he's getting swamped. And that's partially my fault there. Back away from the AT-15, but I do take ammo rack damage. It shoots me in the side, and there are Reds everywhere now. All angles. Stealth down the riverbed in trouble. E25 trying to slip by. Not on my watch. Down he goes. He's taking a heap of damage to Stealth already. Swing back. Trying to take out the Pershing before he can do too much damage to Stealth. He does get him, but the Reds are all coming over, firing down onto him. T25AT pulls far too far forward to get the gun depression to fire that shot. Stealth gets that kill too, but they're all in. It's dogpiled on Stealth, and yeah, it's time to go. One more into the AT-15, but bailing out. And luckily, they've all overcommitted. They've got 3 guys now stuck in the riverbed, and all our guys have the height advantage. KB4 there firing down on them, and an M4A8 up the back as well. So now I was thinking they were all going to swing round, so I dive in to take out the T25AT, and that's a definite overcommit. I don't have the traverse to get in behind him. I take a shot from the Tiger who's come back, and he's swinging back. I'm just able to tuck my rear drive wheel in and lock him down. Ammo rack damage again. Look at that drive wheel at the back. It's all that's stopping that T25AT from getting shots at my rear. Come on, the AT-15's coming back. KV4, I need some help. Come on! Yes, just. Only just. Okay, everyone else gets the Tiger 2. Just an AT-15 left now. Tanks on all sides. Can I ninja this? Yes, come on. 2 kills. Good play there, team. Coming to our aid. So a tense game with a 3rd class badge, Confederate and Sniper once again. 2.94 stealth there in the brief time he was alive. The damage output on that Jag Panther 2, it's crazy. 12 shots fired, 11 penetrations, only 12,000 credits there with a big repair bill, and 1300 XP. And so we come to the last game, another tier 8 battle on Fort Despair this time. I'm with Black Prince in his ISU, and this is another nail biter. Some tense moments, and it does end in a mastery, saving the best to the last. So we move off into the right here. Gonna head wide. Just checking back constantly. Just seeing what kind of support I've got. When you are making a flanking maneuver like this, you really do need to be aware of what your team is doing, so as you can judge how aggressive you can be. There's no point charging off thinking you've got the right idea if you don't have any support, and then finding yourself stuck and pinned down. So we move wide. You'll see here enemy ISU in the T20. Some tier 7 mediums out here. As my gun starts to play up, this is going to be a terrible run of shots. One into the T20. I'm taking shots now on the side there by the comment. Look at all these mediums, and a VK 3601 H up the back as well, who I think will be firing HE at me. That's where I'm taking most of my damage from now on. See a HE round just plowing into the ground there in front of me. Deflecting plenty of shots here off my side from these low tier guns. I'm not getting much luck in my own shot placement. There's a HE round to my side. Holding up a big portion of their team. This VK's got to go, eh? I'm sick of these HE rounds. Having auto aim off here would probably stop some of the misses I've been having, but getting the job done. Repair that driver. Work this guy down. He does only have this stubby little dirt gun, so that is why he's firing HE. He can be excused this time. Just pulling out enough to get the shot away. Always keeping the side armor angled. Just because this is a tank that does better in a hold down position doesn't mean you shouldn't still use side scraping techniques where possible. I'm going to need the health later on, I promise. So the game's going very poorly. We've lost 3 of ours to none of the reds, with all of our team boxed in this one corner. Black Prince gets a Comet who was a bit too bold there in front of the BL-10. KB-1S is having second thoughts, but here we go. Here is the second enemy tier 8, T-34, coming in. What's he doing? Yes, he is going to charge me down. No help from Black Prince, who's got his own problems up the back there. He'll take a hit here. Yep, big hit. Repair that straight away. I need to make the most of the time I've got between reloads here and this guy. I get probably 3 shots away to his 1. Second. Try and get in under his gun, but I take another hit. More damage. Here goes my last repair. Just able to put my shot into his side. Angle the armor again. Yes, another bounce into the side from the T-3485. Now he's on the back foot. Hold down here now. There's a second kill. We just lose Black Prince to the enemy ISU, who is turning but not fast enough. There's my third. 3 enemies left now, and they're all lower tier. T-20 poking over the ridge here, probably thinking I'm distracted. Bouncy shot, another side scrape, and the return. Where's that derp and VK gone? Looks like that KV1S is AFK, which is a stroke of luck. But then all good games contain a stroke of luck. I promise. There he is. One penetration from this guy would be all she wrote, but a very low pen on the derp gun on the VK. 150 hit points left is probably enough to take one more, but jiggle back and forth to dodge his next shot. And now there's just KV1S left. It would be very unfortunate though if this guy was to come alive in the dying seconds of the game, so come over the top, keep my eye on what he's doing, and lock it down the kill. My 6th. And so a great haul of medals for that one, including a pools, a collar ban-offs, and a mastery badge. 4.2k damage, 1.4k XP, 34 shots fired, 27 pens, 18 hits received, 38,000 credits, 2k XP. And so that's a wrap for today's video, guys. Thanks again for watching. Coming up next, I've got, well, Quick Blitz on Wednesday, but then after that, a different little video I've been putting together in response to a request someone made a couple months ago. So will it be a success? I don't know. It should be interesting at least. We'll see how it goes. But until then, guys, thank you once again, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Peace.